شكرا يا ربي شكرا هديت قلبي شكرا نورت دربي شكرا شكرا يا رب شكرا يا ربي شكرا
وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله سبحانه وتعالى وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدث بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار ما بعد. Brothers, a reflection. The month of Ramadan al-Kareem was like a reflection in the mirror for us all. It was a reflection, an image of what we have the ability to be. Just think about what we have achieved in this month. We have, by the permission of Allah, fasted the longest, hottest days of the year. And not just once, we did it for 30 days. The longest and sometimes even the hottest days were the days that we just fasted. We prayed more than we've ever prayed before, true or not? Subhanallah. Before Ramadan, we would struggle with our obligatory prayers, the fara'id. When Ramadan came, do you know how many rak'ah we were praying in a day? We were praying 50 rak'ah a day, subhanallah. That is the obligatory, as well as the sunnah, and the tarawih. And you know what? In the last 10 nights, we added another 10 to that. We prayed 60 rak'ah every single day. Subhanallah, may Allah accept that from us. We read Quran, recited the beautiful words of Allah. 20 pages a day for someone who was trying to finish the Quran once in the month of Ramadan. 20 pages a day. Is that not an achievement? Charity. You know, in the independent newspaper, they said British Muslims have raised more than 100 million pounds in the month of Ramadan alone. We are the most giving community from all the communities in this country. And to that, I say Allahu Akbar. This image, one of worship, one of submission. This was our reflection in Ramadan. Allah never gave us new bodies in Ramadan. He never gave us new abilities. He never made us superhuman. That was us praying, fasting, reading Quran, crying to Allah, making dua. That was us in Ramadan. That was who we can be through the rest of our life. And you know what, subhanallah, in the beginning, it's difficult. In the beginning, it's tough. In the beginning, you find it stressful. But what is absolutely amazing is that as the days roll by, you begin to like it. Isn't that true? You begin to enjoy it. You begin to feel a peace in your heart that you never experienced before. Do you know why you felt good? Because you did what you were created to do. You were fulfilling your purpose in life. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونِ. Allah said in the Quran, the very reasons He brought us into existence is to bow and submit and to worship Him. And when we did that in Ramadan, we felt good because that was what we were born to do. Allahu Akbar. A second way it is a reflection, and I want you to pay attention to this. You know, we live as one community amongst many different communities, some of faith and some of non-faith. And we have our differences, and we're not shy of our differences. But what Ramadan showed us is that though we may have our differences, those differences are not a cause of conflict. They're not. I'll prove it to you. During the days of Ramadan, your work colleagues, your neighbors, fellow students, they were enjoying their coffees in the morning, lining up at the Costa, tucking into their sandwiches at lunchtime. But we weren't doing that, were we? We weren't drinking our coffees, we weren't having our sandwiches. We were fasting. And though we became very different in Ramadan, we still went about our daily lives all the same. Brothers who were doctors and sisters who were doctors went about their daily jobs. Bus drivers, Muslim bus drivers went about their daily jobs. Muslim teachers went about their daily jobs, and to be honest, no one could tell the difference. Which shows us that our beautiful religion of Islam, it can prosper by itself, and it can even prosper despite being existing alongside other faiths and even non-faiths. That's what it shows us. That this religion of Islam is so beautiful and dynamic that it can flourish wherever and however. And to that I say Allahu Akbar. Allah has blessed us with Islam. Allah has graced us with Islam. And the third and final reflection that Ramadan showed us who we are is that, you know what, my brothers and sisters, we're quite a strong community. We're quite a tough, strong, devout community. One brother came up to me in one of the nights of Ramadan. He said, you know what, one of my non-Muslim colleagues came up to me and he said, how do you guys do it? How do you fast in this month? Is it the case that you have a big breakfast just before you come to work? He said, no, the breakfast is at 2:45 a.m. Wow. He said, do you fast one day and then the other day do you break your fast? He said, no, we fast every single day for 30 days. This non-Muslim could not believe it, that we as a community can do something like this. In fact, there has been a poll around the Muslim world, and they said that across the Muslim world, 93% of Muslims fast the entire month of Ramadan. Allahu Akbar. 93% of Muslims. That's more than 1 billion people fasting the month of Ramadan. How did we do it? What was our secret? Where did we get the strength? I'll tell you the secret. The secret is our submission to Allah. That when a man and when a woman and even children, they say, Allah, I submit myself to you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala transforms who we can be. Allah gives us strength. Allah provides for us. Allah guaranteed this in the Quran. Allah said, وَمَن يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ. And whoever relies and trusts in Allah, Allah will take care of that person, subhanallah. So this is what Ramadan was for us, a reflection of who we can be and what our potential really is. And I want to take this opportunity to really take my hat, or should I say scarf, off to two types of people out there. The first has to be our young brothers and sisters. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. You sat your exams and you revised for your GCSEs and A-levels and exams in university whilst you were fasting the month of Ramadan. MashaAllah. I think we should give a takbir, Allahu Akbar, to our young brothers and sisters who did the most important exams of this dunya whilst being devout and faithful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I want to give you a message. In the coming years, when Ramadan will become easier because the days will become shorter, there will be boys and girls out there. They will say, oh, it's Ramadan, I've got to do my exam, it's difficult. And you know what? Some people will say, hang on a minute. There were brothers and sisters that came before. They did the exams and their exams were done in Ramadan when it was more difficult. If they did it, we can do it. And a copy of their reward will go onto your scales. Allahu Akbar. And a second group of people who I want to congratulate personally is our mothers. The Ramadan mothers of 2016, subhanAllah. Don't we have to congratulate them? They fasted just like us. At the same time, they took care of the families. They took care of the homes. They were chasing after their children, looking after them, changing their nappies, as well as preparing delicious iftar for us. Don't we have to say a big thank you to our mothers and our sisters and our wives? Yes. So let us hear it for our sisters with a takbir, Allahu Akbar. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala finally to accept whatever good we did in Ramadan, to place it on our scale of good deeds, and that whatever we gain from Ramadan of piety, of obedience, of submission, that He allows us to live with those benefits every day of our lives in the coming days until the next Ramadan. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. And to conclude, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us on this joyous day, to accept all of our good deeds, and to grant us all long, prosperous lives full of good deeds. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. ربنا آمنا فاغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت خير الراحمين. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. I love you all for the sake of Allah. Have a joyous and great Eid. عيدكم مبارك. تقبل الله منا ومنكم وجزاكم الله خيرا.
شكرا يا ربي شكرا، هديت قلبي شكرا، نورت دربي شكرا. شكرا يا رب، شكرا يا رب.